Hello, and a very warm welcome to Home Cooking, the show where my very special guests will show me how to cook their favourite dish as we discuss the memories and different cultures surrounding it. First up on today's episode, my good friend Alex. I caught up with her in her South East London home and we spoke while she taught me how to make the Greek dish biftekia. Alex, tell us what we're making today.
All right, so today we're making biftekia with some potatoes, which is, I'd say, one of the most traditional dishes. I feel like every single culture has something similar to what a burger would be. It's an interesting way of making burgers, I will say this. But I'm very excited to do this with you, Lucrezia.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is Alex's foolproof biftekia recipe. Finely slice some onion. Add milk into a bowl with 3 slices of bread. Leave to absorb, then squeeze. Add the bread to your onions along with minced beef, oregano, salt and peppermint flavouring. Form mixture into small balls and place on a tray. Add cut potatoes, cover them with oil, cook in the oven for 40 minutes. Who taught you to make this recipe?
Well, it was my mom. She's the only one that's ever taught me to cook anything, really. She's the only reason I can barely cook. Because of some family drama, my mom doesn't have access to a lot of family recipes, but I do think that this one comes from the further side of our family, which is my great aunt, which would be my mom's aunt.
So did your mom have to just figure out most of her childhood recipes herself?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that she kind of taught herself to cook. I think her mom never really let her cook when she wanted to, but she was kind of forced to cook later on in her life when her mom, my grandmother, wasn't around that much and she had to cook for my granddad.
Do you feel connected to the dish?
I think it's just because it's something that I've made many times, especially with my mom. It just reminds me of her a bit. And it's nice to just get in contact with my Greek side because I'm half Spanish, half Greek. So my Spanish side is something that I see a lot more since I was born and raised there. So whenever I cook Greek dishes such as this one, I don't know, it feels nice. I do feel very connected to it.
Next up, my friend Judith took some time out of her busy schedule to sit with me and talk about her favourite Singaporean dish, sunpan. Judith, could you please tell me the name of your recipe?
Okay, so my recipe is called sunpan. That is actually, I think it's a Hakka word. In Singapore, we are broken up into different Chinese dialect groups. So my mom is a Hakka. The food that comes out of it, I don't know, it's just really, doesn't seem very appealing to me. It's quite bland. But suddenly 2 years ago, my palate changed and I just decided to enjoy sunpan all over again.
For the dumplings, steam and mash some yam. Add tapioca starch with a splash of hot water and form into dough. For the filling, chop and fry dry tofu, radish, carrots, mushroom and dry shrimp in sesame oil and soy sauce. Roll out your dough and add the filling and form into dumplings. Steam on a high for 20 minutes. When was the first time you remember eating this recipe?
The funny thing is that the first time I remember eating it was when I was in primary school, when I was 7 or 8. And I hated it so much, but I remember the first time I started to enjoy sunpan, which was 2 years ago, and it was so good. Oh my god, I was like, why did I hate it? Why did I not eat this for the past 10 years of my life? Yeah, so that was, oh my god, the first bite I had was so good, yeah.
Where does the dish transport you when you eat it?
I think if I were to eat sunpan now, where I am right now in London, I would just be transported back home, honestly, with my mom just staring at me as I eat it because she knows how much I love it. So every time when she sees me eat it, she's like, do you like it? I know I made it for you yesterday. So I'll just be transported back home. And maybe if I were to eat it, maybe my grandma will be there also. Because my grandma stayed with us for many, many years before she passed away. And she always eats sunpan, right? So I think if I were to eat it now, I'll just be thinking of my mom and my grandma. Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Home Cooking. Thanks again to my special guests, Alex and Judith, for sharing such wonderful food memories with me. Thanks so much for listening. Bye.